Isn't it crazy how good phone cameras are getting? When I picked up my iPhone 15 not only a couple of months ago, I thought I was going to be returning it. But as soon as I played with the cameras, I thought, wow, this really makes the line blurry between this and some of the expert camera gear that I've got, including this A7S III right here, which would usually be recording this main shot. Today, we've got the iPhone 15 Pro Max recording this and the audio, and we're going to put it head to head with some of my bigger cameras. Let's see what wins. So before I put together a scientific rig to compare the iPhone camera to one of my bigger cameras, I want to go into the iPhone settings just so I can show you what I'm working with here. And there's a few settings that if you haven't changed on your iPhone, I would recommend you do so. As far as video, you want to make sure you're recording in at least 4K for the highest quality. I've got enhanced stabilization on because I've got the iPhone 15 here, so that's all great. If you scroll down to the bottom, I'd recommend disabling lock camera and enabling lock white balance. What this is going to do is enable you to zoom between the lenses whilst you're recording, and the locking the white balance part, that means as soon as you click record, the white balance won't change. And then last but not least, Apple ProRes. Make sure this is turned on and then click into here. I like to choose the log, which gives you that flat picture profile for grading later in post. And then a few other settings back in the main camera menu. I'd have my grid and level turned on, and front mirror camera and outside view frame. All of that is turned on, just so I've got all the information available to me when I'm shooting. Now, let's go and build this rig. So we've had a little bit of the break from the nasty weather here in the UK, which gives me time to come outside and talk about this rig that I have devised. So the main shooter here, we've got the A7S III with a zoom lens, because obviously the iPhone has a series of zoom lenses on it, so we need to be able to compare. This is the Revo dock, and this is important because it allows us to take one USB-C from the iPhone, record into our SSD here, which is a 1TB SanDisk, and provide power from a Ugreen 25,000 mAh power bank, which should keep the iPhone charged up about 5 or 6 times. We've got 2 USB-C outputs and 1 USB-A output. It can charge at 65 watts and it can output up to 140. And I actually tested this. It got my MacBook Pro 16-inch to about 56% in just under half an hour. So pretty bonkers setup. If you are interested in the gear, I'll put it all in the description for you guys. There's currently some Black Friday offers on, 43% off on the battery and up to 40% on the rest of the lineup. So if you want any of this gear, best to grab it now. Okay, so section number 1, portability. Let's jump straight into clicking record on the A7S III here and then record on the iPhone. So how easy are both of these things to use? Now, what you need to bear in mind is that you don't need all of this gear to shoot with just the A7S by itself and just the iPhone. This is to give a side-by-side comparison. So take note here of what you can or can't see inside of the dark garage. This is what's known as dynamic range, the difference between the light of the image, so the sky, and the dark of the image in the garage. Can you see in on the iPhone or on the A7S? Let us know in the comments. Now, multiple lenses on phones certainly aren't anything new, but I'll tell you for fact, it's definitely new when you compare that to an actual DSLR, because you've only got one lens. So if I want to get a camera setup that's got numerous focal lengths, I need to use a zoom lens. And with a zoom lens, you often trade things like the f-stop, which is basically the bokeh of the image, how blurred out the background is. So I'm trying to match this as best as possible here. 24mm on the iPhone and 24mm set on our lens here. Now, we don't get the ultra wide with this current setup because this lens's minimal focal distance is 24mm. So again, the iPhone ones us up. Now, all the hype around the iPhone 15 was around that zoom lens. The 5x comes in at around 120mm. So with a button click here on the iPhone, I can go ahead and zoom straight into our 120mm, and with our camera here, I can go ahead and try and match it the same. Okay, so again, I need to step further back from our subject and then get him in frame. So there you guys have it. This is the difference here between an iPhone at 120mm and, well, let's say a professional camera shooting 10-bit video. Can you tell much difference? I'm really interested to know in the comments. If you did a blind test, it would be a small difference. Now, before we get into ProRes and recording in S-Log3 on the Sony camera, let's look on the camera app at maybe a few little tips that can help you film. So as you can see, we've got our lovely assistant in frame. Now let's say I wanted to lock on him so the focus and the exposure of the image doesn't change. All you need to do is go ahead and tap and hold, and you'll see the focus do a double jump. That means our exposure is locked and the focus isn't going to change. Another tool I really like, and this is what you have to enable in settings, if you click on the little EV meter up there, it should bring up this exposure slider, which as you can see, if you put it to 2 stops overexposed, the image is really bright. And if you bring it down, the image gets dark. Now this tool is useful if you've got bright areas on your screen and dark areas, like this roof and the sky. It's best to try and get everything in your shot exposed properly. Now we've got ProLog on the iPhone, and Sony, because they're Sony, they call it S-Log, and they've done numerous versions of this, 1, 2 and 3. So we're now shooting in S-Log 3 on the Sony camera, which is its flattest profile. And this is what we're getting. The log from our Sony a7S III and the log from the iPhone. So here you guys can see the a7S III and the iPhone 15 Pro Max ungraded, and then, yes, with Movie Magic, the grades are on screen. You can see them now. Again, I think it's going to be really difficult to tell which one is coming from which until we zoom in to our 5x here on the iPhone and 120mm here on the Sony. The iPhone definitely has bokeh in the background, but there is just so much more bokeh on the Sony. But again here, this is an iPhone doing this, and I still think that is absolutely mental. So maybe you've got an iPhone 15 and you're thinking of using it as your main production camera, or you're on the other side of the fence and you're thinking of picking up a bigger Sony camera, or you've already got one and picked up an iPhone 15 and are thinking, can this replace my camera? Can I now sell it? Some further thoughts from having both at my disposal is this. The iPhone is an absolutely brilliant camera because, and I hate saying this, but it's the famous phrase, the best camera is the one that you have with you. And when don't you have your phone with you? It does pretty much everything you need it to do, and I think that's what Apple's engineers were thinking about when they were in the lab designing the camera system. It's a one camera system with 3 lenses that you can quickly switch between to cover a wide variety of focal lengths. And yes, you can do that with a camera like this by using a zoom lens, but zoom lenses often with a main camera like this don't give you the best image quality. We're currently now using what's called a prime lens, and the lens that we're using will give a far superior image to, let's say, using a zoom lens on a camera like this. If you are after more and you want to get a big camera like what we're shooting on now, again, I wouldn't recommend or sway away from doing so, because the ability to use different lenses to get different shots really doesn't go missed. But the top and bottom of it is, I've always, every single year an iPhone's come out, wanted to compare the iPhone's camera to my main cameras, and I haven't done. But this year was the year where things got super blurry, and I had to do the side to side just so I could see what was going on. Anyway guys, my name's been Alex, this has been TechFlow, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.